Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm JongWildAndFree, and today's speed build is of my Australian inspired house. For those who are wondering why I called it an Australian inspired house, it's because it is inspired by a house from another game, and this game is called Origin ID 3, which is a car game that takes place in Australia. In this game, instead of bird view like in The Sims, you have a little drone to fly around with, which is what I used to film around the house. I couldn't get around the entire house, unfortunately, since I wasn't allowed to fly over the fences, but I think I captured enough to use it as an inspiration. I am planning to build some more houses inspired by other games that I like to play, and in this game had really boring houses, I think, so it was quite fun to try to build one of the houses in The Sims and make it look much more homey and lived in. The end lot value ended up being right underneath 93,000 simoleons. I did build this on a lot called Sandy Run in Newcrest, which is the 40 times 20 lot, so it's a bit odd lot, I think. I'm not sure if there are any more lots this size in the world, but since it was a very narrow build and I really wanted to have some space for the garden in the front and the back, I decided to use this lot. I never really know what to build here, so this lot or this house ended up fitting quite well for this lot, I think. It's not the most biggest house, of course, it's just a one floor house again, and this has room for two parents and a child and a toddler. And I did also put in like the cat tree and stuff, so there is room for I think at least 2 cats, if you want to. You could always change the cat toys out for some stuff you need for the dog, and just move in a dog if you rather want to have dogs than cats. This house also ended up being very colorful at the inside, at least. It's quite simple at the outside, I believe. But at the inside I tried something new by using still some of the blue colors that came with like cats and dogs, the blue grayish color. But I also put in a lot of orange and yellows, which I normally only do when I build the more tropical jungle adventure kind of builds. But it was really fun trying to match it in a more normal family home as well. I did put in a pool at the back. I do put a fence around it because it felt a bit unnatural not having something to protect the toddler from falling in. I couldn't find any gate of my choice, so I will keep the fence just open at one side. And at the end I also believe I moved in the kind of kiddie pool, the one for the toddler that can wait seasons. So it's a very family friendly house, I would like to call it, since your kids can kind of play outside, and in the summer they can even both the children, the teenagers and the toddlers can then have some water fun, since there will be a little pool for the toddler as well. I did keep it quite simple in the back. That's all the seating area I did put down here, at least. I thought since I kind of built it also for a toddler, and a toddler cannot sit at the dining table, it was more cozy to put like the couches outside, so you could actually eat outside with the whole family without needing in the high chairs. So that's kind of the reason why I didn't put any dining table at the back. And even though the build is very small, I still felt I had a little space to actually put the dining table outside somewhere else, maybe. I did decide to put in a pond this time. Not always a big fan of them, but I really wanted to have one there. There isn't, of course, a pond in the at the house that I picked inspiration from. So that one had just a very plain and boring yard, actually. There wasn't very much furnished at those houses. I did watch the demo of the next part of Forza Horizon 4, where you could actually look in the houses and see more furnishings and stuff like that, and that's why I kind of got inspired by trying to build those houses in The Sims once, but I started out with the third part first, the forest, the horizon tree, and those houses weren't that a lot of graphics on them, so there weren't any furnishing neither around or inside them. So that kind of gave me the space to do whatever I wanted with this house, and I imagined a bit more creative garden, at least, since there wasn't much to see around the original build. I did put down 2 cars at the end. I keep the one that I just placed, but I felt something was missing underneath the porch or the garage or whatever I should call that roofing, and I didn't really think that that car fitted in underneath. I like the car where it's now best, so I placed in the type of truck underneath the roofing later on. And here I just started at the inside. I couldn't really find a wardrobe of my choice, so I built one again with the kitchen cabinet and the mirror in the middle. I had some struggle figuring out what the color scheme was for the master bedroom, so I will soon just skip it for a while, and after I furnished the living room, it's then when I kind of realized what kind of color scheme I wanted to have in the bedroom. I really had to find some inspiration first, so I just had to come back to that one later. I did end up with a kind of blue natural themed colors in the bedroom, so it does end up quite neutral at the end. The most colors are mostly going to be the living room and of course the children's room. I also did put in a laundry room again, and this also did come out quite colorful. I had some fun doing that, so yeah. And here is kind of where I decided I want to keep the orange or make it an orange themed house, just because I wanted to have an L-shaped couch, and when I put on those pillows, those pillows are always quite colorful, and I really like the orange with the yellow one, so that kind of inspired me to try out something new and try keeping the orange colors coming back a bit. I do not remember if I keep the tables like that. I did experiment quite a lot with the colors on those tables. They're just 2 side tables where I sized one of them down as a kind of extra decor feel to it. Since I made an L-shaped couch, I didn't really have enough room to kind of fit in a regular coffee table. And the only coffee table we have that is just one square is not one I do like that much. It's just a simple glass table, I believe. You will see me jump around a bit from place to place in this living area, since I wanted to place everything first before I chose wallpaper colors and flooring, and kind of was still looking for a bit more inspiration. I had really kind of trouble figuring out what kind of colors I wanted to have in the kitchen as well. I do believe I kept the fridge in either the yellow or the orange color. I really did like that color, so just to bring the yellow/orange theme more to the kitchen, I believe I kept all the other furniture parts in the kitchen more neutral. But the fridge stays in a colorful color. Yes. There's just a tiny entrance here, nothing much, unfortunately. It's, like I said, not a very big house, but just big enough. I like them. I like my houses quite small and cozy and homey, but I did find room for almost everything a sim needs. I wanted to place the big cat toy or cat house thing, but it was just too big, so I placed this smaller one. And I placed the 2 bowls because it feels more natural, you know, one for food and one for water, but in this game you only put food in them, so in theory there is room for 2 cats. And here I kind of realized the couches were still kind of coming through, kind of visible that there were 2 couches and not the one L-shaped couch. So I tried hiding it a bit with a toy chest and this plant that came with the latest update, I believe. And again, it kind of fitted in the Caribbean style items, and since I was going for quite a neutral rustic vibe with the orange and the yellow, the most of the kind of latest updates items and the jungle adventure items kind of fit in just perfectly. And it also used quite a lot of the parenthood stuff, and again I used a bit of those bluish grayish colors that came with the cats and dogs, of course, and for the more neutral vibe, and then the colorful yellow I think it matches quite well together. And it didn't really make the room too dark as well. Sometimes when you use those blue grayish, it might get very dark inside, but the yellow brightens it up just perfectly, and it's really a happy color, I think. I believe I'm almost finished with the living area, at least. I did furnish it a bit with plants and some small decorations to, again, work a bit on the homey feel. And since the children's rooms aren't that big, there they did end up some toys here and there in the room as well. And here I kind of decided that I wanted that kiddie pool, so I did move the logs in front, so now you can kind of see them when you look at the front of the house, which kind of made that garage feel under the roof a bit more realistic as well. So yeah, now your toddlers can cool off in the summer as well. And what I also like very much with this build is because of the color scheme I tried out this time. I ended up using some items that are sometimes or do not use that often, like the floor lamp in the living room, for example. I do not think I really ever used that lamp, so yeah, it was quite fun to try something different for once. I did move in a toy chest for the pets as well, so I'm not sure if cats even use it, but if you want to move in a cat and a dog or just dogs, you can. There at least is some toys for the pet. I didn't put in any pets, and I believe I forgot the litter box, even though I placed the rest. But there's always room for the litter box in the laundry room, actually, and maybe even in the bathroom, but I would have just put it in the laundry room, then it's definitely out of the way for everyone. The laundry room is quite big, so yeah, there should be room enough for one litter box there. Or if you just want to have dogs, then you can always just remove that cat tree thing and have a dog bed there instead. Then you do not need the litter box, of course. Just doing some finishing touches, I believe, in the living area before we move on to the bedroom again. Second try. After I started off with the color schemes in the living area, I finally had some inspiration for the bedroom. It still ended up quite simple, very natural and peaceful. I also put down a yoga mat, so you still can do some yoga in here. I didn't place anything for the meditation part, but still. It's quite a peaceful place to be able to do some yoga. And when thinking of other skills you want to learn with your Sims, this house has of course a bookcase, I believe even multiple. So, and it has a TV and a PC, and then the yoga mat. So you can't really have a painter here. You have to buy your own easel at least. It doesn't really have a place where you could paint or even do some woodworking. But there is always room around the house, I believe, to just put down the easel. You could even put it in the bedroom if you really want them to paint. I can't really remember if I put in a drawing table for the kids either. I believe not. So the house has, of course, all your basic needs then. besides the creativity part of it. I did make quite a colorful laundry room, as you might see now. I did pick the yellow and the orange washing and dryer machine for once, since I never really used it, and I thought this build was a quite nice build to try it out for once. I did also put the laundry or the hampers in here. I just put them through because I like the idea of having one for the light colored clothes and one for the dark colored clothes, but that doesn't really matter. As far as I know, all the clothes of the household should automatically end up in the hamper, unless someone is lazy. Then you might need to pick up the piles, but yeah. Otherwise it should just work fine. As I said, there should be room enough for a litter box in the laundry room. You could always just remove one hamper and put the litter box instead of the hamper. Or if you do not want to play with the laundry at all, you could just remove all the laundry stuff out of this room and make it a cat room or a pet room, where you place some more beds, pet beds or toys, and again the litter box. It's up to you, whatever you like to play with. I of course like to put in the laundry room as a kind of a realistic feel to the house, but I really don't like playing with it actually, so yeah. It's up to you what you want to do with it. As long as you do not upload the house again as your own, of course, then yeah, you can use it for whatever you want. You can also change the bedrooms to whatever gender kids you have. I made the toddler room a bit more boyish, and I would say the child room is more towards a girl, or a boyish girl, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can even use it for a boy as well. It's yeah, kind of everyone's own choice if they think it's more suited for a girl or boy or both. I kind of tried making it suitable for both. The toddler room, I think, did get more for a boy than a girl, just because it is a very dinosaur themed bedroom, but of course there could always be small girls that really like dinosaurs and that kind of stuff, so yeah. They did both kind of get their own colors to theme, so the child room will be very bluish, and the toddler room is more, it will have more green afterwards, and orange, and a bit of blue with that one as well, so yeah, very colorful rooms. And I do think the colors kind of matches the house as well, in the idea with if you are playing with the walls down, it still kind of looks like it matches the rest of the house, but still being a kid's room. So yeah, I really do like that as well. As of the wardrobes in this house, of course the one in the parents' bedroom is just a fake one. But I believe both the kids ones should work if you are the kind of player that likes using the wardrobes in the game. I'm not sure, maybe I block off the child's wardrobe a bit more. In that case, at least the toddler one should still be working fine. You can always just move around the furniture if you are someone that likes using the wardrobe more. And yeah, the one in the parents' bedroom is just a fake one, but you could always remove the kind of bench thing that I moved in, and rather put a drawer there, or where I put the side table with the books underneath. You could always put a drawer there as well if you really want to have a functional wardrobe. But yeah, here was kind of playing around with the colors, since I was struggling a bit with choosing a wallpaper. I'm not a big fan of wallpapering or doing the walls in a kid's room, because the colors never really match, and sometimes it's too childish, or yeah, like the dinosaurs, and there's also one with penguins, I believe. I really like those, but the color schemes never match, so that's kind of why I made a mixed match of the two backgrounds, and again to bring back the yellowish orange color. I do wish there were some more nicer kid bedroom wallpapers, because I don't really have any favorites for that. I was struggling to find good wall decoration for the kids, or at least the wallpaper or paints. I do like the one in the child room, the forest looking, but it doesn't really change color, so sometimes it just doesn't match at all. So yeah, that's a bit sad, but yeah. With that said, this video is about to go into screenshots, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more of my creations, you can always like and subscribe to my channel, or follow me on Twitter or Instagram. If you want to download this build, you can find it under my Origin ID JongWildAndFree, and always remember to turn on move objects before placing. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Bye bye!